Hey everybody, Pat Cleary back again. Welcome to the latest edition of NAPEO News Studio. So for this episode, we'll be joined by our lovely and talented VP of Marketing and Communications, Carrie Marshall, who's going to update us on the latest survey of 500 business owners, our annual survey, and the findings from our in-depth interviews with trusted advisors. We're also going to hear from Tom Stoller, who will give you an update on what we're doing on the ERTC backlog. So with that, let me turn it over to Carrie to discuss the results of the survey. Carrie, take it away.
Thanks, Pat. Every year since 2018, we've conducted a survey of 500 small and mid-sized business owners and decision makers. We initially started conducting the survey so that we could get a baseline measurement of awareness and understanding of the PEO industry. We wanted to be able to measure progress and see if the significant investments we're making in marketing the PEO industry are actually paying off and moving the needle. Back then, 45% of those we surveyed were aware of what a PEO is. I'm happy to report that awareness of the PEO industry has increased by more than 44% since 2018 and now stands at about 65%. 1/3 of those surveyed report that they currently use a PEO, which is up significantly from the first time we did the survey, where that number was close to 0, and up an increase of 38% over last year. This is likely due to the pandemic effect, which is driving more and more small and mid-sized business owners to use a PEO. Of those surveyed who do not currently use a PEO, 8 in 10 indicate an interest in doing so in the future. That's an increase of 5 percentage points over last year. Awareness remains strong among younger business owners and newer businesses, but we're seeing some really significant gains among older business owners and more established businesses. It's up about 15% in both of those groups over last year. You can view the full results of the survey and our analysis at napeo.org/market research.
Thanks, Carrie. As you can see, our efforts are paying off. As I like to remind people, when I arrived, our marketing budget was $50,000. We're north of $1.4 million this year, and it's starting to pay dividends. We're starting to see results and awareness of what a PEO is. One important point about that survey of 500 business owners, the question we always get is, do you survey the same 500 people? No, because remember, the first question is, have you ever heard of a PEO? So if we ask the same people, by year 2, that number would have to go up. Hopefully something close to 100%, certainly by year 3. So we actually get 500 new small businesses every year that are part of the survey. So I hope that answers that. We get that question all the time. But you can see that awareness overall, awareness writ large among small business has been steadily climbing thanks to Carrie's efforts. So with that, let me turn it over to Tom Stoller to talk to us a little bit about the ERTC and the backlog and what we're doing about it. Tom, over to you.
Thanks, Pat. I'm here to talk about the continuing story of the IRS 941 ERTC backlog. We thought that the IRS was making some progress on this, but unfortunately the backlog is increasing. At the end of February, it's gone up to almost 650,000 unprocessed 941 X's. That's easily the largest number they've had since they started counting. The backlog is harming PEOs and their small business clients who need this money. What we've been doing at NAPEO in response to this backlog is working with Congress to get them to pressure the IRS to clear out this backlog. Several weeks ago, we had a great opportunity to do this. The Senate held a confirmation hearing on the new nominee to be the commissioner of the IRS. For this hearing, NAPEO got together briefing material for the senators, which included questions, a survey of NAPEO members on what the backlog is and how it's affecting their clients, and an explanation of the ERTC processing issues. The data for our survey was interesting. We surveyed 28 PEOs and found that almost over 13,000 PEO clients were waiting for ERTC claims, and their claims added up to almost $3 billion, about $280,000 per small business client. We also found that some of these businesses have been waiting almost 2 years for these ERTC tax claims. We provided all this material to the Senate, and during the hearing, 6 senators asked questions about just the general backlogs and delays at the IRS. But then, in a process that's called questions for the record, 6 senators submitted questions for the record on the ERTC backlog, and in particular, Senator Sher Brown of Ohio submitted our question for the record, and the IRS commissioner responded to it, or the nominee to be IRS commissioner responded to it and said that he would get back to the Senate and report on what he could do to improve the delays in the processing. The nomination hearing was a great opportunity for NAPEO to educate senators and their staffs about the delay and the impact it's having on small businesses. The next step in this process involves you. NAPEO has invested in some very good high-tech software programming that allows you to directly write your representative and senator. All you need is your name and address. Once you plug that in, your senators and your representatives appear, and the letter appears. We've actually left room in the letter if you would like to personalize it and list the number of clients you have waiting for the ERTC and how much those claims are worth. And if you don't have that data, you can just skip it and hit submit. Not only are we going to give you instructions on how to write your representative and senators, we're also going to provide you with instructions on how your clients who are waiting for ERTC tax credits can write their representative and senators and ask them to ask the IRS to clear out this delay. We are going to continue to put pressure on Congress until this delay is gone. I think one of the things you can use with your clients who are waiting for an ERTC is to let them know that their industry trade association is doing everything they can to clear out the backlog of 941Xs and ERTC claims.
Thanks, Tom. It's a little frustrating that the backlog on ERTC is going up and not down. But we're doing everything we can to work with the IRS and with Congress to make sure that backlog starts moving in the other direction. And we will not rest until that backlog for PEO clients is zero. Finally, today we're going to turn to our work with trusted advisors. That's part of our strategic plan and the work that our board has done to get us engaging with strategic advisors like accountants and lawyers, et cetera, to raise their awareness of PEOs and hopefully encourage them to in turn encourage their clients to work with PEOs. So we've done some great work with our partners Pavato, and let me turn it over to Carrie to summarize that work. Carrie, take it away.
Thanks again, Pat. Late last year, our market research partners at Pavato conducted 24 in-depth interviews with trusted advisors, bankers, attorneys, accountants, and business consultants. We wanted to assess their attitudes towards PEOs, test some messages about PEOs with them, and explore their decision-making process about recommending PEOs to their clients. Overall, we were thrilled to learn that their attitudes about PEOs are overwhelmingly positive. In fact, several of the business consultants we interviewed noted that they're already recommending PEOs to their clients. The advisors universally reacted very positively to our description of what PEOs do and how they help small businesses. And they noted that the tasks that PEOs perform are exactly the same functions that they recommend outsourcing for their clients. The message that resonated the most with the trusted advisors was our message about how a PEO takes administrative tasks off the business owner's plate and frees up their time to focus on the core function of the business. The reality is that all 5 of our messages tested very, very well among this group, and they were really well received. You can download the full report on our interviews with trusted advisors and find out more about the methodology we used at napeo.org/trustedadvisors.
All right, that'll do it from here. That'll wrap up this edition of NAPEO News Studio. And we will be back with another edition soon where hopefully I will have some new NAPEO merch. I will be after our board meeting and I will have some new merch to display. So that'll give you something to look forward to. So thanks for joining us today.